Welcome to Tower Gardening Made Easy, and I'm Sherry. If you're new here, be sure to tap that button and grow this community. All right, today I'm going to spill the tea and I'm going to tell you what our mystery plant is, so stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. All right, so if you watch the video all the way to the end, it basically tells you what it is. It's watermelon. I also gave you a little clue up by that title too, so I'm going to tag that video right here if you want to watch the full thing where we planted it all out. But today it's ready. It's been in the nursery on our warming mat with the dome and without the dome, and it's ready. The root systems are developed. It's got a set of leaves and it's ready to go into this home tower, believe it or not. So I want to, defy all odds by putting a very large leafed plant into a smaller tower. And what we're going to do as it grows, and this is one of the reasons we built our own trellis, and I'm going to tag that video here too, is so that we can go ahead and have a trellis. Now, the other thing that I'm going to have to do, as the fruit gets larger, I'm going to have to be using these clips, and you can find these in my website, which is in my description, and we're going to have to go ahead and probably put them on the outside, stick them, and then we're going to have to trellis those vines into the tower. And as the fruit grows, I'm probably going to have to use some type of a netting system and loop that over so that they can grow. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be growing 10-pound watermelons. I'm going to be growing smaller size. But even still, we want to take that pressure off the stem, because when the stems get too big, they start to crack and you have to support them. So that's why these little guys are very, very handy. So you can find these again in my website. I'll put that here and you can go for it. All right, so I want to show you the tray. And these guys are ready. So we got a tray of watermelon. Okay, and this is what's going to go into the tower today. The root system, I will show you as we go and as we plant, that they're developed on most sides. And there are a couple that are not, but because this is a big seed that we're putting into the tower, I'm not really concerned. If it was something like a strawberry, I'd be like, nope, let them in there, let them stay in the nursery as long as they want until they have a developed root system, because otherwise you're just asking for problems. But these guys, they could survive anything. So let's go ahead and put them in. All right, so what do we got here? Let's go for one of these big guys. Something that hasn't developed. Here we go. Now, the other thing too is I planted them in that rock wall, and I think I talked about this, that I wasn't really crazy about it. It was very stiff and it dries out really fast. So just be careful of the rock wall that you buy, because this is the one you had to punch the holes in. It didn't hold a lot of water, so I had to keep filling that up. Because remember, when they're on the warming mat, the water is evaporating, especially much more so without the dome, so you have to be very, very cautious. So this has got a good root system and it's quite tall, so I'm going to kind of put this midway. So here we go. I want to get that root in there. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to spin this around because it's already leaning. No, actually, I'm going to leave that there because the hole is a little bit higher. And the reason for that, if the hole is higher on the rock wall, I'm going to be able to go ahead and put something down here if I need to support it. Because remember, these are going to be big, just like the summer squash and the zucchini. So here's another one that's really, really developed. So we'll go ahead and put this one up here. So, and there's a bunch that, okay, so this one doesn't really have one, but I feel pretty confident that it's going to be okay, because remember, when I planted these, I used tap water. I didn't use nutrient water from the towers. I stopped doing that. And I just feel like it's okay to do that, because once they hit the tower and the nutrients hit them, they're going to take off. So, especially with the big seeds, I don't really worry about those guys. So here's a real tall one. That's gonna be like 5 or 6 inches. Okay, let's keep it going. All right, so that's a really nice root system there. And look at that guy. He's just gorgeous. So we're gonna tuck him right in there. You know, so don't be afraid to try things out of your comfort zone. Now, I know that my towers are kind of, I've got the bok choy here, I've got watermelon down here, and they pretty much have their own. But if you only have one tower and you just want to try something and put a couple of these in there, do so. Try it. Get out of your comfort zone. I mean, I never thought I could get strawberries to bloom. I really thought I was going to be just looking at a tower of green, and I got a flower. And the great thing is that I think that it's pollinated, because it looks like it's been 24 hours and it looks like it's starting to kind of close in. A cute little story. My husband goes to me, he goes, so when can we eat it? I go, well, it's just a flower. It's not a strawberry yet. So we got to give it a little more time. But he was cute. Okay. So back to planting. All right, so this guy, this must have been when I was talking, when we were planting them in that video. I go, I think I dropped 2 in there, because there's actually 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put him a little bit lower, because I think with 2 of them in there, that's going to be pretty aggressive. Okay, here's a nice example of, remember we talked about the rock wall and having that crushed. So it's okay. I'm going to go ahead, but I'm going to make sure that this is higher up in the facing into the tower, so that it just gives that stem, as it starts to grow, it's going to come out this way, and that way if it was loose to the rock wall and it was the other way, the stem really wouldn't have that support. All right, here's a little itty bitty one. The other thing too is I'm going to leave this top section open for right now. I don't feel the need to do that because I want my bok choy to get big enough. And if I do that and you start growing into it, then I don't think that the bok choy will develop. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this particular unit by not planting. But maybe later in the coming weeks, I put something there. But as of right now, no. Stick this guy there. That looks really good. Nice developed root system. Beautiful little leaves. Put him over here. That must have been the old rock wall because that was soft. This stuff is just so stiff. I think I have a couple pieces left. I think I'm going to throw them out because I don't like them. I really don't. It's too, if woolly is a word, I don't think that it is. That's what it feels like. It's very tough. There's no moisture to it. Okay. That's a good one. Where are we here? That one over here. And here's another double, so I must have been talking on that one too. Okay, ooh, I like this one though. Look at this. So we got a double plant and right dead center, but the root system is just darling. So we're gonna go ahead and put him back here on the bottom because I know that will take over. Now also at the very end, I'm going to show you the tray because there's a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10. I have 10 rock walls that did not develop. So I know you guys are sick and tired of me saying plant more than you need, but I'm telling you, you need to plant more than you need because inevitably, I don't know why those 10 seeds didn't take. That makes no sense to me, but it happens. And it's wasteful, I know, but what are you going to do? I mean, you have no control over what Mother Nature wants. You just kind of have to, you got to just go with it and just plant more. That's nice and wet. So what do we got left here, guys? Oh, there's one. So that is all full. That is all full. Okay, so it's full. And so let me just show you. I've got one more, but I just don't think that I want to leave this one. So when you look at this tray, up to the camera here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rock walls that did not develop. Now this one did, but I don't have any more room, but that's okay. I'd rather sacrifice one. Again, I just don't want to play at something there because these guys are doing really, really well. And I really want to have bok choy. So unfortunately, these are going to end up in my recycle bin. Maybe not even, because it's the rock wall that I don't like. And it's just, I don't know, it's like really stiff. I can't explain it other than it's just really woolly. And it doesn't work for me. It just, I don't know, it's tough. So if it's tough in your hands, imagine having the root system having to grow through that. So that could actually delay your seedlings. Now, these are aggressive growers, so it wasn't a problem, but a sensitive seed like strawberry or something that's a little more delicate, maybe even lettuce, you might have a difficult time. So you definitely want to keep that in mind as you're doing this. So let me go ahead and put this down and clean up my space. And put my strawberries back where they need to be, otherwise they'll get angry. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that dome back on them. So I'm just loving my new rack over here because I got more room than I know what to do with. And it's just working really, really well. The system is just great, and I got plenty of room. If I had to expand down on the second rack, I could totally do that, but I don't need to right now. So this guy is completely planted out from the bottom all the way to the top. Looks really great, even with the bok choy. I feel really confident. And you know, let me do this. Let me just, while we're on camera, I put something new in here. These guys I know are doing well, but let me go ahead, and the one thing that we all should do is test the pH. I know on other channels, they don't do it as religious as some people. There's one gentleman, like I think I've said in a previous video, who's very much a scientist. There's two. One's a pharmacist and one's a scientist, and they got it down. But I think both of them have farms. I wouldn't consider my tower grow room a farm. I would consider it more just a grow room. But it's important to know where you are, because eventually this will flower. So which means that your pH needs to be, for tower gardening, it needs to be between 5 and 7. But what I have found is that anything with a flower needs to be about 6 to no more than 6 1/4. So let's test this. So I insert it into the water, I let it sit, I turn it on, and it's reading 6.31. So now I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to give it a shake, dry it off. I'm going to do it again. So it's reading 6.35. And honestly, that's perfect. I'm going to leave it alone. The water in there looks great. Doesn't look murky, doesn't need anything. Nutrients are probably right on point. So I'll go ahead and dry this off and put it away. You can find that stick if you're interested. That's also in my website under the nursery essentials. And I have tested that side by side with the kit that comes with the Tower Garden, which on the inside comes with the little round doohickey that you put the water in, and it comes with the drops where you put 5 drops in, and then you compare it to this. I have done this religiously against that time and time again, at least for the first couple of weeks that I had it, to make sure, because if it was off, then I know that all of my plants will be off. And for the most part, everybody's doing really great, especially the summer squash, because I have tons of flowers, male and female. I got my first strawberry flowers. So I know that anything that's flowering, that I keep it right in that middle, around 6. I think 5 is a little shy. 5 and a half is still a little shy. So 6 is kind of that sweet point, 6 and a half. So if you can keep it there, whether you use the pH up or the pH down, you will be very successful in growing. So let me go ahead and put this away. So that kind of concludes what we did today with this tower. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too much of a tease, but they are going to be spectacular. And I can't wait to use these clips because I think it's really going to be essential to use these little white clips to vine them up. And then we'll have to come up with a system probably some type of netting or nylon, where we're tying the fruit up into this so that it doesn't hurt the vine or the trellis. So stay tuned for that, and we'll make sure that we take care of it. And the bok choy looks amazing. I'm so excited. So this whole process has been just phenomenal, and the community has been amazing. And I'm really looking forward to making more videos and showing you what I've got. And the tower that's over here, this is the brand new one right here. Guys, this tray that's over here in the nursery, this is all zucchini, okay? It's all zucchini, and I planted it 48 hours ago, and let me tell you, there's already roots. It's like the cucumbers, they're Jurassic, and it's a big seed, so it's going to be aggressive, and it's going to plant very, very fast. So I would say probably midweek, maybe late week, we're gonna fire up his tower, we're gonna get him in, and we'll do a whole video on that. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for being part of the tower gardening community. Thank you.